What is up, everybody? Today we're playing Sakura Succubus 7. It is Metro Game 75, and here we got this game today. Well, I was supposed to post this game yesterday, but due to things happening, I had to post it today. But anyways, here we are with the 7th version of Sakura Succubus. I have a feeling that in the future we're going to have to deal with 20. They should make this an anime, not gonna lie. It should be an anime someday. Alright, but let's get started. Yo, I'm so hyped I finally got this game. Well, it's currently on sale for only $8, so it's worth the $8. I sigh as I nuzzle my cheek against my futon. It's warm and soft and it feels like I'm being enveloped in a gentle embrace. I'd be content enough to lie here, cocooned by warmth, but unfortunately... Excuse me, are you awake yet, Hiroki? I can hear an angelic voice calling out to me. Who is that? I like to turn over and go back to sleep, but I just can't, man. I don't want to upset whoever it is who owns this voice. Hiroki? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting up. I didn't mean to keep you. I pressed my hand to my mouth, stifling a yawn, then pulling myself into a sitting position. I'm sure my hair must be messy after spending the night tossing and turning. I doubt I look at my best, but I guess that's to be expected. I have just woken up. Blinking white spots away from my field of vision, I turn my head to greet the angel who has awoken me, and... It's her! Early to rise. Oh, an achievement. The vision sitting before me has golden hair which tumbles about her shoulders and twin cascades which are loosely tied back in a pair of pigtails. Her apple green eyes are fringed with long lashes which are every bit as golden as her hair, and her hair skin is smooth and soft and creamy. She's undeniably adorable, and of course I know who she is. Hiroki? This woman is, believe it or not, none of the other Stefania, Sophia, Maria, Isabella. She's got a fucking name. Of Astoria, the princess of the small European country Astoria, which borders Germany and Netherlands. Stefania's European-ness is pretty apparent, even at a glance based on her striking blonde hair. You don't see many Japanese women who look like that, not unless they bleach their hair. Based on her appearance alone, Stefania doesn't look like the kind of woman who should be good at Japanese, but her proficiency in the language is really quite remarkable. Stefania's Japanese sound very natural, almost like a native speaker's. She doesn't have much in the way of an accent at all, and neither does her maid, Elizabeth. As for why this is, well, it's a bit of a long story. Stefania, despite being Astoria's princess, is actually a huge fan of Japanese culture. She's been obsessed with our media, music, and fashion from a young age, and she took great pains to learn how to speak Japanese to a fluent level, despite never having been to Japan before. Until now, that is, Stefania is very much in Japan at this moment, in Tokyo to be more precise, in my apartment. Talk about a wild wake-up call. Good morning, Hiroki, darling. I'm very sorry to wake you up. Wake you. You look so sweet. I thought about letting you rest, but the hour is getting on, so I wouldn't want you to waste the day. Lizzie always says it's important to get an early start, especially in the winter. The days are short, so we need to enjoy as much of the daylight as we can. That's a very sensible thing to say, Lizzie. I mean, Elizabeth sure is wise. Indeed, she is. I would scarcely know what to do without her. She's crazy too. Certainly, I never would have been able to travel to Japan without her help. I am quite hopeless without her help. Speaking of Elizabeth, I wonder where she is. I can't see or hide nor hair of her. I guess given how proficient she is, she'll have to dress already, in her maid's attire, and she'll probably be engaged in housework as we speak. I told Elizabeth last night, before we slept, that she didn't need to fuss about the state of my apartment, but Elizabeth insisted. She's pretty serious when it comes to keeping things tidy. Hey Hiroki, I just want to thank you for letting Lizzie and I stay here. You really have been good to us. As much as I depend on Lizzie, my dear Lizzie, I fear it might be beginning to depend upon you a bit too much, too. Maybe you should be more independent. Nah. It's fine, you can rely on me. It's fine. You can, if you want to depend on me, I don't mind. Are you quite certain? Of course, you're my girlfriend now, aren't you, Steffi? I suppose that is true, yes, but goodness, to hear it out loud till early in the morning? Stefani shifts upon the futon, her bare thighs rubbing together suggestively. I know Stefani doesn't mean to seduce me, she's godless like that, and awfully unworldly, but damn, she really does look good. I can't help but remember either the memories of what we did last night. I got very intimately acquainted with Stefani's back then on this futon, and Elizabeth too. I don't think I'll forget that in a hurry. For some reason, I hear you say that makes my heart skip a beat. In a good way, I hope. Oh yes, I'm very happy to be your girlfriend. It is a great honor, though I fear I am still unaccustomed to it. I think it'll take me a while to get used to such an affection of palpitations, but I do not dislike it, not at all. I'm very, very happy that I came to Japan to see you, and I'm very happy too that we can spend more time together. I know I might appear somewhat awkward. I've never spent this much time outside the royal palace before, but I really am thankful I was able to meet you. I don't think I'm all that amazing really, but if you think so, who I am to tell you or otherwise. Thanks, Steffi. Gently I ruffled the top of Stefania's blonde head. I'm glad I was able to meet you too. Not a lie either. I really do like her. This whole situation still smacks of surreality. I can scarcely believe, even now that I was woken up by the princess of a European country, even a lesser known one. It's pretty wild. It's my whole life, in fact, it's a wild one. I used to fancy myself once upon a time as thoroughly ordinary guy, but I don't think I can describe myself as an ordinary anymore. If I tried, I think my work colleagues would lynch me. Now I'm sure that there's much protecting me from a near future lynching as there is. My work colleagues are all aware of my licentious relationships with a slew of famous women, Stefania, Sophia, Maria, Isabella of Astoria being one of my newest acquaintance. Though for reason like that sounds seedy. Oh jeez. I'm also dating esteemed businesswoman Wakatsuki Marina, the beloved idol Aiku Ayu, famous social media star Cosmos Moretti, and well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I guess if I'm to properly explain my circumstances, though who I'm explaining my circumstances to exactly, I'm uncertain. I had to take it slow. I used to be an ordinary guy, like I said, your average corporate slave who lived to work and would spend most of his days either sitting in the office or else commuting to it. My life was a constant cycle of working, eating, sleeping, and repeated incessantly, over and over until I felt like a hamster running around a wheel. I had a few relationships over the years, but I was so busy with work and so tired from it, too. I was never able to keep these relationships up for very long. I was prepared to live out my unremarkable, uninterested days alone, until my body broke down from the strain of constant work and I collapsed. But then I met Marina. Well, I actually met Ali first, but our initial encounter wasn't a particularly pleasant one. She fell on top of me, she hit me, and then she called me perfect. Like, fucking Ali, god damn it. Marina, meanwhile, was far more accommodating. We met at a bar which was playing this jazzy arrangement. It was all very classy. I was surprised to see Marina, given her status as well as a known, respected businesswoman, the CEO of her own company. I never imagined I'd one day run to her, or that Marina would invite me to drink with her. That whole encounter in that smoky bar felt a bit like a dream. After sipping a few drinks, Marina invited me back to her office, and it would be indelicate to document what happened next. Over the course of seeing Marina, however, she told me that she was a succubus. I later learned that Ayu and Cosmos were succubi too, and attracted by my scent. It is apparently appealing to succubi. I amass quite the harem. I've gone from being a regular ferryman to being some sort of a Casanova. beloved by a whole harem of women. My boss is aware of my many relationships, and he means to use them to his advantage. I become since I began to date Marina quite beloved by my boss on account of the sizable monetary donations she's been sending to my workplace. My colleagues, meanwhile, despise me for my good fortune, and I can hardly blame them. If I were in their shoes, I would despise me too. I mean, where do I get off being so beloved by so many beautiful, wealthy, talented women? I worry if I'm not careful, my coworkers really might try to off me. I'm skirting a damaged line between pleasure and pain, but I wouldn't trade my newfound life for the world. I love every single member of my harem, and right now, I'm particularly struck by how pretty Stefania looks in my button-up shirt. Hiroki. Stefania peers at me, her eyes wide. I know it's still early, and I would hate to be too insistent, but would it be alright if I could be close to you, if only for a few moments while Lizzie is otherwise occupied? Well, of course it's alright. You don't need to ask. And you don't need to look so anxious either. I don't bite. I know that, but Stefania toys awkwardly with her hair. I fear my request may be brazen one. I know I'm not acting as a princess ought to act, and I am not dressed as a princess ought to be dressed either. I do not wish to show such a soul-leading side of myself to you, but awakening in the same room as you, while wearing your clothes, it is almost more than my heart can bear. I feel as though I'm burning up. It's like I like you so much, I hardly know what to do. Well, that is very lucky. I like you a lot too, and I know exactly what I want to do with you. You do? Of course. Just let me take the lead. I'll look after you, Steffi. I promise. Oh, this is a good start. Yeah, 12 minutes in. Once Stefania and I have finished getting up, Stefania has a quick shower, then dresses herself. I shower after Stefania does. It's only polite to let your guests go first, especially when said guest just so happens to be a princess, and dress myself. Newly shaven and my hair brushed, I head into the kitchen where I meet Elizabeth. Oh boy. Made to serve. Greetings, Mr. Okurasawa. Elizabeth, Stefania's maid, greets me with a cursory glance over her shoulders. I'm sure Elizabeth will offer me a courtesy. As Stefania's self-proclaimed top maid, Elizabeth is careful to always mind her manners, but she's otherwise occupied at the moment. She's standing at my kitchen counter, attired in her usual black and white maid's grab. In one hand, she holds a spatula, and fingers on her other hand curl deftly about the handle's frying pan. Elizabeth's red eyes are narrowed in concentration as she works on whatever it is she's cooking. The scent of batter lingers in the air, which leads me to believe she's whipping up some pancakes. It is pretty nice, I ponder. As I take a seat at the table, I have to have a maid about like Elizabeth to take care of the cooking and the cleaning. I'm not bad at cooking myself. I've lived on my own long enough that I've learned to manage the basics, but I don't often have the time to cook nor the inclination. I have to wake up early most mornings to commute to work, and I'm often too tired to bother cooking. As a result, I've been subsidizing on food purchased from the convenience store for a while. Convenience store food might, as the name suggests, be convenient, but it isn't particularly glamorous. I've had so many chicken cutlet sandwiches in my time that they begin to taste a bit like cardboard. There's something hearty about home-cooked meals that store-bought food can never hope to compare to. What with all this plastic packaging, I guess it's lacking in heart. I'm very grateful, therefore, for Elizabeth's presence, though I do feel somewhat guilty. You really don't have to attend to all the chores. You know, I thought you and Steffi came here to relax. My lady came here to relax, yes, and to spend time with you, but I cannot allow myself to do the same. As my lady's maid, it is my duty to look after her, no matter where we might be. I would never be able to forgive myself if I did not do all in my power to ensure that she has a pleasant time in Japan. Oh, Lizzie, You don't need to be so serious. It makes me feel bad seeing you work so hard for my sake. It is quite alright. Please do not worry, milady. You ought to know that there is nothing I enjoy more than making you happy. If I cannot dote upon you, then I know what it is. I would do with myself. I can think of nothing else I would rather do with my time. Now. Elizabeth steps away from the stove, then gently levers the contents of the pan onto a plate. This task accomplished, Elizabeth then presents this to Stefania with a flourish. Your breakfast is ready, my lady. It is just as I thought. There upon the plate lies a perfectly pancake, thick and fluffy with an even golden brown surface. Elizabeth next pipes up some whipped cream upon the surface with this perfectly formed pancake and decorates it with some strawberries. I hope this is to your liking. Oh, it is. It looks wonderful. I cannot wait to dig in. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Have enough batter to make more pancakes, so please let me know if you want more. Would you like me to prepare you a pancake too, Mr. Urasawa? Oh yeah, if you don't mind. I'm not a big fan of sweets, but that pancake of Stefania's does look good. It smells good too. My stomach's starting to rumble. I do not mind in the slightest. It is my pleasure after all to serve. If there's anything you want for me to do, do not hesitate to ask. I would be only too willing to come to your aid. She could be good at cooking this and that. I guess she could be my own maid here too as well. Even to my own use. Our pancakes consumed, Elizabeth makes a start on washing up. She washes the dishes swiftly but effectively, and once finished, she once more takes her place at the table. With the busy work, as Elizabeth termed it, finished for the present at least. Elizabeth then says, so what is on the agenda for today? What are your plans for us, Mr. Urasawa? Oh yes, I'm intrigued about that too. I have never been to Japan, and there is such a great ideal I wish to do and see. I fear I do not have enough time before my inevitable return to Astoria to take in as much of your country's culture as I would desire, but during the scant week afforded to me, I would very much like to make the most of it. That's fair enough. Stefania, as she said, has never been to Japan before in her life. In fact, I'm not sure if she's ever left Astoria. As a huge fan of Japan and its culture, it makes sense that she would want to maximize her time here. Unfortunately, I am not the best at planning out vacations. Before making connection with Marina, which offered me some leverage in the office, I was afforded so little free time I hardly ever went out. When I wasn't at work, I was asleep, and when I wasn't asleep, I was at work. I know about a few tourist locations, but most of Tokyo's charms remains a mystery to me. I wouldn't know where to take Stefania without an intensive amount of research. As such, I decided to offset some of the responsibility of playing tour guide onto a woman who knows Tokyo far better than I do. This woman is none of the other than Cosmos Moretti. Cosmos' job centers around taking photographs of herself in all kinds of locations, cute cafes, hotel rooms, and hot springs, to name a few. Cosmos also vlogs her day-to-day life and posts these as videos on my tube. MyTube? Her follow me around videos get a lot of views as she films herself in theme parks, aquariums, and shopping centers. Cosmos is intimately familiar with all of the most popular locations in Tokyo. If anybody's qualified to be Stefania's guide during her stay in Japan, she is. I wonder when Miss Moretti will arrive. Stefania, who was notified about my plans ahead of time, looked at the clock on the wall with expectation. I cannot wait to meet her. You aren't jealous that I'll be spending time with her. Oh no, I am not jealous type, and in any case, if you fond of Miss Moretti, I'm sure she would be a wonderful woman. She's an interesting woman, if nothing else. Cosmos might be a social media star on paper, and actually, she makes the majority of her money taking lewd photographs of herself for her army of online fans. I don't have an issue with Cosmos' line of work, but maybe Stefania and Elizabeth would disapprove of it? Stefania isn't a judgmental person, but she is royalty. I'm concerned that Cosmos might be a bit too much of her to handle. Part of me thought it might be better off to enlist Fumi's help in the end of this enterprise instead, or maybe Marina's, but the both of them were too busy with their own work to take the time off to see Stefania. Cosmos was the only member of my retinue readily available. I'm glad she agreed to help out, given I called at such short notice, but I do have to wonder if everything would be okay. I'm busy pondering this when... Meowdy, everybody. It's very good to meet you. My front door opens and everybody's favorite cat-eared succubus enters. She's ditched the short shorts she usually wears and the extraneous cheerleader outfit that she donned before my departure to Astoria, and instead she's gone for a more formal, normal outfit. Well, normal by Cosmos standards at least. She's still wearing those cat ears she loves so much, but she's coupled them with clothes that don't look too ill-suited for the winter. It's not bad, not gonna lie. She could be wearing some shoes. She should really add some, I don't know what they call it, bro. Those thigh highs that, you know, high school girls wear. Whatever it is. If you get what I mean. She's wearing a purple vest with a coat and a matching denim skirt. This attire is significantly less showy than the Cosmos cosplay outfit. I'm relieved that she's not coming in a bunny outfit or a nurse uniform, though perhaps part of me is a little disappointed about that. Oh well. Glad Cosmos took my memo to heart and dressed a bit more conservatively for Stefania's sake. My worries might be in vain, however, because Stefania doesn't look at all put out by Cosmos' appearance. Instead of smiling, Stefania says, I take it you are Miss Cosmos Moretti. Ding ding, that's correct. If we were on a TV show, you get a prize. Did Hiroki tell you about me? Yes, he did, yes. He said that you were a dear companion of his, and that you won't want to be showing Lizzie me around Tokyo. This is my first time in Tokyo, so I'm very excited. You should be. There's a lot of Tokyo to see. I was a bit overwhelmed when I first came here myself, but now it feels like I'm ready where I belong. I'll be sure to show you a good time where my name isn't Cosmos. Is your name really Cosmos? It is quite strange. I get that a lot. But it really is my name. It's what my mama called me. There's other people named Cosmos, like, you know, the Cosmos Fair Odd Parents. The green hair man. He's one as well. It's written on my birth certificate. In fact, if you'd like for me to dig it out and show you it. Oh no, that'll be fine. I was simply curious. Thank you in any case, Miss Moretti, for making Milady and I so welcome. Milady has been a fan of Japan and of its rich culture ever since she was a young girl. I know she regards this opportunity to explore its environs as a great blessing. Well, I don't know if I can bless you. I'm not officially an ordinary, although I do have a nun outfit. It is quite skimpy, though. I don't think real nuns wear PVC. No, I'm sure they don't. Not outside of adult videos, at least. And I don't think the nuns in those videos are devoted followers of any kind of faith, really. And you don't have to call me Miss Moretti. It sounds too formal. Is it? Yeah, nobody ever calls me that before. My fans usually calls me Cosmos 10, or my waifu, or my cute kitty, or Cosette. Cosette? It's like saying cassette. Jesus. Cosette? I frown. That's a bit of a strange nickname, isn't it? It's like saying cassette. Like, you know those cassettes that you play music with? Her fans are crazy. Well, not crazy, just fucking weird. What the fuck? What kind of a fucking name is that? The guy who calls me that is a big fan of musicals and French revolutions. Yeah, see, New Wonder. So that's how she got that name, New Wonder. He is, yeah. How did you know? Oh, it's just a lucky guess. I can only hope for Cosmo's sake that a triggering fan of hers doesn't want to see her dress in rags while singing wistfully about wanting to live in a castle on a cloud. My apologies. I called you Miss Moretti out of habit. It is my way, you see, to be polite to everybody. But if you dislike that, population, I can dispense with the miss. I have no desires after all to make you uncomfortable. Would Cosmos be more suitable? That feels a lot better. Then I should call you Cosmos too. I apologize for the offense. It's alright, you haven't offended me. In fact, you don't have to call me Cosmos at all. Not if you don't want to. Ayu always calls me idiot instead. It's a friendly nickname she gave me because we're so close, like sisters. Goodness me. That sounds like an awfully mean thing to say to one's friend, but perhaps this is a normal manner to address in Japan? Should I start calling people idiots if I wish to make their acquaintance, Hiroki? No, you absolutely should not. There's nothing wrong with the way you speak as it is, milady. Your fine manners are a credit to you. Please do not call people idiots. It would break my heart. Well, not just your heart. It would just make the person angry as well. Like, bro, you gonna get knocked out like punch in the face? It's not a normal thing to call people either. Cosmos' idea of what constitutes normalcy is a bit different to most people's. Oh, right, I see. I suppose I let myself get carried away. Then I shall simply call you Cosmos. Once again, it is a pleasure to meet you. The pleasure is all mine. I've never seen a princess before, not outside of the fairy tales. You are just as pretty as Hiroki said you were. I can see why he liked you so much. You look just like an illustration from a story with all of your lovely blonde hair. You're adorable. Well, thank you. A lot of people have blonde hair in Storia. It is a common discoloration. I believe my looks are quite average, really. And I believe, as I have often said, that you are being too modest, milady. Miss Cosmos. I mean, it's quite right. You are truly a treasure. A sparkling jewel. A rare flower. A top-tier waifu. Waifu, what is that? She doesn't even look at her face. She's just like, what the fuck is all this supposed to be? It's a character from an anime or a visual novel whose designs and personality are so mode you can't help but want to look after her. Oh, I see. I cannot say I am familiar with Japanese media as Lady is, but if that is the true definition of a waifu, then I should believe Lady suits it. I do indeed wish to look after her. And then once you've given your waifu lots of pats on the head and held her hand, Cosmos smiles coyly. It is only natural that you take her to your room and lay her on your bed and then nah. Right now that you're here, Cosmos, and we're all getting along, do you want to head out? I'm sure there's a lot you wish to do during your trip to Japan, isn't there, Steffi? Oh yes, I can hardly wait. Then we won't wait. I can take you out if you want. I have a lot of plans up my sleeve. I want to show off all of the best parts of Japan and our culture to you, Steffi, so you have the bestest trip imaginable. Goodness, that is just very sweet of you. I hope you don't feel too pressured to show me around, though. Not at all. I'm happy to help. I can't turn down a request from such a cute girl like you. You're being too nice, really. I think you're much cuter than I am. Your cat ears are adorable. I'm glad you think so. He says they make me look like a try-hard loser, too immature to accept the responsibility of being a normal human being. Ouch! Now that's scathing, even coming from Ayu? At least try-hard losers is better, I suppose, than furry degenerate. Cat ears are kind of fastidious. Yeah, but there's a step below wearing collar tails and crawling around on all fours at least. Though now that I think about it, Cosmos did let me walk her around the street on a leash that one time, didn't she? I think it was back in Sakura Succubus, what, 3 or 4? Granted, she was pretending to be a doll back then, not a cat, but it was still pretty lewd. But I am glad you think my ears are cute, Steffi. They are cute, they are very cute. Well, so are you. No, you. Jeez. It's like, damn, she just pulled the whole Uno reverse card. Damn. Back on her. I smile as I watch the Fania and Cosmos bicker. amused by the back and forth nature of their arguments. I was worried before Cosmos arrived that she and Stefania might be getting along, how different their upbringings are. But I can see I was mistaken. Cosmos is so kind she can get along with anybody. Or, well, almost anybody. The day has yet to be properly commenced, but I'm quite really optimistic as to how it'll progress. I'm sure with Cosmos leading the way, we'll have a great time. It's hard not to have fun when she's around. Alright, it's fun time. Here we are. Well, we finally made it here, but this is the end of today's episode, everybody. So, thank you guys for watching Sakura Succubus 7. This is part 1 of this series. Part 2 is coming out this week. I'll be dropping up more uploads of this game every week. And don't forget to tune into my live streams happening this week as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.